Welcome to Artist Talk. I'm Juliana Ferrero, and today I'm talking with Emmanuel George. He's a prominent figure in the community for his work as local Black historian, writer, public speaker, community advocate, and curator of many wonderful art shows, including the current exhibition based at the Allied Cultural Arts. So I think let's just dive in, and why don't you share with us what can people expect when they come to the Allied Cultural Arts to see the exhibition, Broward Arts and Soul?
Yeah, so the Broward Art and Soul Experience, otherwise known as BASE, it was something that I started in 2019 when I produced the Sis Drunk Affair along with my co-producer Al Huggins. And it was basically, an exhibit at Old Dillard Museum, which was connecting local Black history and art together, done by local Black artists. So I've been doing it, started in 2019, I did it in 2020, and now I'm doing it in 2021 as a way of just educating people by blending in the local Black history with art. So you have like paintings of prominent people from Broward, like Dr. Sistrunk or Eula Johnson, and it's all done by local Black artists. So it's entertaining seeing these artists like create their renditions of these legendary people, and as well as just overall getting to educate people so they can see these figures being highlighted, and it's a new interesting way to learn their local Black history, because it's very important to know the history that's happening in your own backyard.
Yeah, because I was looking at the paintings that will be it, and we have Blanche Ely, we have Esther Roll, so they're very highlighted in Pompano Beach even. So I'm curious to see, how did you find the artists that are part of your exhibition? And because you mentioned that the exhibition has grown through the years, or you've been working on this from the years, has it grown, the number of artists that you're taking it? How is that process of involving artists?
Oh, great question. So growing up, art was always a part of my life, really. I mean, my uncle was a known artist from Dominica. He would hang out with other known musicians like Third World and other like big time reggae artists in the 70s. So like even so when I was a child growing up, I seen his paintings on my walls, when I was as a child in my parents' house and everything like that. And then when I was in high school, a lot of my friends were artists. And then there was also the DCA program at the Dillard Center for the Arts, where a lot of phenomenal artists came from. So I always knew artists in general locally. It's always been a passion of mine to get involved in the arts and to just give local Black artists a platform. So when I was telling them about the exhibit that when I started in 2019, many of them was honored to be a part of it, and they wanted to, pay homage to these pioneers from Broward County, because yes, it's a great look, and some of these paintings were even bought from people who appreciate the art, and even from like different cities as well. And even some of the art is even archived. Like I know there's a few paintings at the Blanche Ely Museum that have the Esther Roll painting, which is a 36 by 36 Esther Roll painting done by Gene Dennis, otherwise known as JD Raw Talent. There is also the Eddie Jones painting done by Miss Cherish Watson. There is the Blanche Ely painting in Blanche Ely's bedroom done by Connie McKnight. So overall, it's important to just overall bridge the gap between local Black history and art, because it's a fascinating way to educate people about what's happening in their backyard, as opposed to just like a typical classroom lecture.
Yeah, and that's why I'm very excited about this exhibition, because even myself, I'm learning about Black culture in Pompano Beach and in Broward. So I'm really excited to see this show. And let's keep on talking about you and your background and your work. I was reading your mission, you're lending a voice for Black culture. So do you want to expand? Because I assume that you're doing this big job or this big work in promoting artists, visual artists. But I was reading that you also are a filmmaker. So you're encompassing the creative arts, not only visual arts. So can you talk to us a little bit more about what you do?
Oh, I mean, well, I like to get my hands involved in a lot of things, 'cause I'm just overall passionate about seeing our culture move forward. So I've done documentary filmmaking. I did go to school at Full Sail University for a little bit, for a short stint, but I didn't finish. But I was involved in filmmaking from like a director's point of view. Wasn't the editor or anything like that. I could pick up the camera and do some shooting here and there, and overall, like just really getting into storytelling, documentary filmmaking. So that was always like something very big for me because we need to tell our stories, and through arts is a way of telling our story, and through documentary filmmaking, because and I could be wrong about all of this, but I just see like in the future moving forward that we have to find more hands-on ways, more lucrative, creative ways to teach and educate people, as opposed to just overall like sitting in a classroom and a chalkboard and pointing at the board on who's this and who's that. So it's just overall very important to just educate people in different ways. So like filmmaking was something that I've loved because I grew up watching Spike Lee movies. Spike Lee was was like a god to me growing up, just watching his films like Do the Right Thing and Malcolm X and Mo Better Blues. And I wanted to like get involved in that. And as I was seeing more and more, it was through documentary filmmaking, telling real stories. So like that was just some of the things I do. I curate, I've curated quite a few art exhibitions before at Old Dillard Museum, at the Midtown Commerce Center Art Gallery on Sistrunk, as well as the Dillard Center for the Arts Gallery at Dillard High School. And I've also been a part of Soul Basel, which is part of art, which is like in conjunction with Art Basel in 2019, right before everything happened. I had an exhibit at Space Called Tribe in Overtown.
How did the pandemic, this lockdown, impacted your work overall? And have you come up with creative ways to keep on doing all these amazing things that you do?
Oh, I mean, definitely before the pandemic, I had so many ideas for like what to do at the Ally Cultural Center. Honestly, and it's not like a slight to any other cultural centers or museums, but the Ally to me is like the best one in Broward County in terms of like the way it's structured, it's shaped, having two floors, having like the outside stage venue space. Overall, it's just beautiful. And what I was, wanting to do before the pandemic happened was to have like, including music, including um, live spoken word poetry. It was so much that I was like, I had like a year. I'm like, I'm gonna make this happen. Then the pandemic hit, and then everything, just went on its head. So basically, I just had to go back to the drawing board. And sometimes it's like, when you have something that works, you keep at it. You keep with what works. And that was when it was like, okay, well, let's do bass again, because I did it in 2019 at the Sis Drunk Affair, which was the first Black Art Week in Broward County. And then I did it in 2020, January 23rd, which is also before the pandemic hit. And I did bass, but that was more like a flip for South Broward. I highlighted South Broward's Black history through art. And now it's, the Ally Cultural Center. So now it's like a traveling exhibit, basically. And that was when I was like, okay, this can work, and this is what I'm going to do. This is where I'm going to go with this. And so I'm still blessed, and this is like a sign. Just kind of keep this going. Like, don't stop what you have. If it ain't broken, don't fix it.
Well, it seems that we're definitely going to leave the door open to make these other plans that you have for the Ally come true. It seems like it's going to be a lot of amazing programming encompassing all these art forms that you manage. And so, looking also into the future, do you have any other larger long term goals that you want to accomplish that you want to share with us?
Oh, well, definitely. Thank you. I have a lot of things I'm doing. Sometimes I tend to think that I'm abnormal at times because I'm always just like finding different things to do. Lately, I've created these Legend of Broward flashcards as a way to educate people about local Black history. So it's 22 cards in the deck, and it has different people from South Central and North Broward, so like Esther Roll, Blanche Ely, her husband J.A. Ely, Dr. Sistrunk, Mizell, so many people. And it's just a way to also, like I always say, educate people in cool, entertaining ways. and it's been doing great. I'm also doing other installments of these cards. So I'm going to be doing a Green Book edition, which is based on the Negro Motorist, the Green Book. And I'll be doing with those cards is highlighting landmarks like the Allied Cultural Center, Old Dillard Museum on a card, Sonny's in Hallandale, the Palms nightclub in Hallandale, places that's still here, places that's no longer here, and even businesses here that are, you know, Black businesses and Black businesses that are doing good things as well to give back to the community. And also to add to that is I also did these gold edition cards, and I'm doing limited editions. So it's like a gold edition Dr. Sistrunk card, and it's heavy. It's like a heavier brass, and it's like a gold coating on it. And also next month I will be having Esther Roll on a gold edition card, and I'm only doing 40 of those because, like, as the pandemic has happened, the value of like trading cards and flashcards have gone up. So people are digging into crates and like getting their rookie Magic Johnson, Larry Bird card, and now that value has gone up. And even like with my generation with Pokemon cards, like Pokemon cards have gone up through the roof, where people are buying Pokemon cards for like $5,000-$10,000. So I want to like show value in our community. So that's something that I have going on. And overall, just like my main, what I would love to see on a philanthropic level for me is to have my own gallery space, and also have it be like more so multi-purpose usage, where there is art exhibitions, there is performances, there is also film screenings. You know, like I really want to be able to give that platform for local Black artists, because there's a lot of local Black artists here in Broward. I mean, I did like a count one day and I wrote it down. I think I got like 80 something local Black artists, and many of them have never had their art in a gallery before. And I want to be able to give them that opportunity, that feeling, because oftentimes, sometimes it's only a few of us that get chosen. And I want to be able to give people their flowers while they're still here, and not have to wait till something tragic happens to them for them to be featured in a gallery, or for their art to be worth X amount of money. So that's just like, you know, some of the main things I have going on right now. But I have a lot of dreams, and I'm working hard, and I will make them happen.
I like what you said, you're gonna make them happen.
Mm-hmm.
So this has been absolutely inspiring. We reached the end of our conversation, but from all the things that you just listed, which will, you know, in itself will be another conversation, I'm sure that this is not going to be the last time we talk. I'm looking forward for your exhibition at Ally Contemporary Art. And I'm looking forward to more conversations and to see how you make these different goals and different projects that you have happening. And especially for my case, this gallery space where we can feature these artists that at this moment probably have never exhibited, like you said, but they're going to get their platform while they're still alive, and they can enjoy the sales of their work and being featured. So I thank you so much for your time today, for inspiring me this much. I'm hoping that you inspire all the people listening to us today, and I will see you soon. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.